When I moved into my first house, this is the garden that I found. It was incredibly sloping and almost impossible to use. No matter how creative we tried to be, we weren't able to use it properly. In this video, I'll show you how we turned this sloping area of the garden into a beautiful patio seating area that we could use and enjoy. I will share with you step by step what I've done. First thing I've done was I dug out all the grass, and then I marked out the area that I needed with the patio in with a line marker. I made sure that these lines are square with the house, and made sure that the length was correct. Towards the end of the area where patio is meant to be, I dug a small trench that was 40 centimeter deep and 30 centimeter wide. I poured concrete in this trench and made sure that I leveled this afterwards. I then laid dense concrete blocks to build a retaining wall. These I laid flat, and I took my time making sure every one of them was flat and was level. It was my first time ever building a wall, so that was a little bit tricky. It took me a few days to build this wall. I've then backfilled the area with type 1 MOT, sub base, and then I compacted it with a plate compactor. This I hired, and it was a little bit tricky to use at first, but then once I started using it properly, it made a big difference. It made the area very level and very strong. I run a few times, maybe 4 or 5 times on each area. I then started laying the slabs using a mix of 4:1 sharp sand with cement, and I made sure that there's a slight slope away from the house so that the water would drain away from the house. I carried on laying these slabs until I reached the wall, and then I realized that I made a big mistake. The wall that I built wasn't completely square to the house, and there was a slight angle there. You will see that towards the far end the patio is perfectly beginning with the wall, but then the further down you go, the further down, the bigger the gap you'll see. I've had to do something about this to correct it, and I decided that it would be best to lay a few slabs towards the area where there's the biggest difference. I've done this by digging a small trench as well and laying concrete there, and then you'll see a single line of concrete blocks that I've laid towards the end here so that patio would sit on. I then dug a small trench for a garage drain to run through. This drain was to prevent the water from building up behind the wall, and it was also taking all the water from the guttering around the house. I then put some paving slabs around it, and this is the finished product. Feel free to like and subscribe and ask us any questions if you want to. Thank you.